Took this trade in the F period. I'm looking at that blue line because I just thought that would be the start of, if we were going to start single time framing out of here. You can see we gapped up from Friday, which is that red line. That's the high from Friday. And we have a gap there. And now we're just kind of sitting over the overnight high, rotating. And the problem is, I can't really take any of these range trades because the range is so short. So, that's only about 12, 13 ticks to where I think you should take your first target, which is basically that ADF top there. What I'm really looking at is I'm waiting for, see if we pull into that overnight high. You can see how the D just came right down to it, but didn't break it. And you had the VWAP right there, and you have the open, which is that orange line. So I wanted to see if we could get down there and, then play it back into that range. And I felt like if we could get in somewhere down there and it did work, we would, because it pushed the low and we're coming off that VWAP, there's a good chance we would come all the way back across that range that we were in earlier. I'm just kind of waiting here to see if we can get down to that area. I'll mark it here in a second with a blue line. Right in there is where I'm looking. Right there I enter. I don't really want to see this go lower. I'm looking for this to snap back into the range. There's my 20 ticks. That's where I'd like to take my first target. You can see the B, everything's lined up right there. You have A, B, C, D, E, F. It's all, it's the thickest part of that rotation. And that's why earlier, when I was looking at that blue line, I wasn't considering taking a trade there because the target would be too short. So here I could at least get that 20 ticks, I thought. And like I said, I thought there was a good chance we would get back across that entire range, which would give me my 27, which is where the target is now. And I thought if we really got going, we might make it up to that 190, which would give me my 40 ticks. I think you want to look at that POC and make sure that you're not going to, you don't get any real sell off from there. There's a good chance they would try and, look lower then. I think ultimately my target would be that 5,200. And you have the 100% of initial balance there just below it. This is such a tight range. I want to get this first trade off, and I'm trying to shoot for those longer targets, but it's just not moving the way I kind of expected it to. I protected this because I felt like if it got back down to that area where I entered, there's a good chance we'd try to move lower, maybe to that next volume profile, that little node down there by the value area low. And this range is so tight that I decided to take my first target here at the 20 ticks. Right there, it takes off my first one, so that's 20 ticks. Basically, under that halfback, I'd start to worry about it, but that would take me out anyway, so. And like I said, because we pushed the low on this, and we're bouncing off the VWAP, we're coming back into that range. Technically, I think it should at least get up to that C high. And if it would have been moving a little faster, I would have held, trying to get maybe the 27 and the 40 tick. But because I was just kind of grinding through here, I decided to take the targets when I did. And you had another opportunity to get in this when the H period come down and bounced off the POC. And then that would have created single time framing from the F, G, and the F. I'm sorry, the F, G, and the H period. And that actually did take us over the 190. We're up around 192 right now, 192.75. But to hold this for that entire move, you would have had to hold it all the way back down to that. I believe it hit the G period, hit the POC. So you would have, given up about 2.5 points there. If you were trying to hold this the entire time, all the way through to that 40 ticks. This is sped up. It took about 40 minutes to do this trade, and you're going to see it in about 6 or 7 minutes. So, this is very slow price action. I was kind of just going off like what I think it should do, because it was too hard to read the price action really, other than the fact that it wasn't giving up, but it wasn't really pushing either. We're almost to my 27 ticks. And at this point, I really felt like it was going to clear that C high. But, that, like I said, in the H period, it comes back and tests that POC again. So you had another chance to get in that if you wanted to take the single time framing. That was about 30 ticks in that last target.